Hi, how are you doing today? I'm Linda, and this is Lilybugs Library. Welcome. And we're going to talk today about my Friday reads. And Dudley, he's just going to take a little bath while we're doing that, apparently. But at least he showed up for the video. So it wasn't the greatest reading week. You may have figured that out by the fact that I did not have a five-star read of the week. So, what I did read, I read three books. So, the first one was called Crust No One, and it was the second in the Bake Shop Mysteries. And I was a little disappointed in it. The mystery was a little, I don't know, kind of confusing, a little dark, which I was a bit surprised at. And then I didn't feel like I had enough of the people in the bread shop. I thought that those, from the first book, I remember those characters being really good and fun, and we got very little of that this time. So mostly it was Ivy going off on her own with, what was that lady's name? You see, I don't even remember. But she goes off with this older lady who was in the first book, who was one of her neighbors, to help solve this mystery. But again, it was not my favorite, and it took a bit of a dark turn, which didn't really seem that cozy to me. So for that reason, I would give it I'd give it 3 stars. So the next one is the next in the. Sorry, I'm really tired. Words are hard today. The next in the Inspector Gamache series, and this one was called The Cruelest Month. So I actually didn't care that much for this one either. I really love Inspector Gamache and everyone in Three Pines and the mysteries that they solve, and all the other ones I've read, I've really enjoyed. Again, I thought this one was a little too dark, a little too paranormal, and it just did not hold my attention. So, again, 3 out of 5. So sometimes can be a good number, it's a solid read, but sometimes it's just barely tipped over 2.5. So, I don't know. I guess there's, take it or leave it. So the next one actually was a really good book. It didn't quite make the 5 stars, but it was lovely. It was a book I read for an online book club, and it was called A Love Like the Sun, and it was by Riss Nielsen. And this one was about Lanai, who she's started up a small town cosmetics business with her mother, and they're trying to get that off the ground. And then she has he was a boy that she grew up with. Now he's a man, of course, and he's really her best friend. His name is Isaac, and they went through a lot together as kids. His parents died, and he was in a foster home across the street. Her father ends up passing away, and none of this is a spoiler. It all happens before the book even starts. And now he's all grown up, and he's actually living in California and is rich and famous and living his best life. And they're still best friends. And so this is all about kind of how they go from the friend zone to something else, and kind of what really happens with the two of them. And it really was very good. It was extremely Dudley. We're on TV, and it was very romantic. We'll give him some privacy here. And so it was very good that way. It was a lovely romantic story, but there was a lot of spice. And because I don't care for that, and certainly not so much of it, I couldn't quite mark it 5 stars. I would give it like 4. maybe 4.5. So, but it was good. It was it almost made up for it with, the kind of romance that the two of them had. Um, I just really love the characters, both of them. There was also another friend of Lanai's who, was kind of hardcore, but really sweet to her. And then there was a man who worked in the shop with her and her mother, and he and his partner were lovely as well. And yeah, just a lot of really great characterization. I thought the author did a wonderful job with it. I think she's got more books out. Couldn't say for sure, but I thought I saw another one. But yeah, would probably read one of hers again. I mean, I guess again, I would probably be caught, trying to fast forward through the spice. But anyway, I did enjoy it, and if it's not something that bothers you, then I would certainly look for that one. But I would say it's a high spice level. So that was it for me. That was my reading week, and I've still got a few on the go. I'm still reading Accomplice to the Villain. I've got one that's an arc that I'm a little bit behind in, still working on that. And yeah, we've got things on the go. So the weekend, it's a long weekend here in Canada. So it'll be nice to kind of get extra sleep maybe and just kind of catch up on some chores. So hope you're having a good day, and I will talk to you soon, friends. Bye-bye.